Welcome to this session on best practice experiences for food, culture, and film. As we work through, we'll first identify the importance and opportunity for the creation of compelling food, culture, and film activities in your destination, while also exploring the saleable experience process and how you can approach it for your business. A, as an individual entity, but also B, from a collaborative perspective, partnering with both tourism and non-tourism partners in your region to further enhance your offering to provide further linkages to the destination. We have collated a collection of best practice experiences from Ireland and around the globe to showcase a wide range of things to inspire you, to spark some creativity and innovation as you prepare to reopen and attract your target audience through compelling offers that drive demand, increase dwell time, and spend. While the experiences included in this session have been selected to showcase what can be done to elevate your food, culture, and film activities, some things may also fall under other categories such as family, coastal, outdoor, and so on, which is also worth keeping in mind. You'll also notice that suggestions are made under each experience with regard to the key segments it may be relevant to. Average pricing is also included, but purely as a note for your reference rather than a benchmark. In the case of international experiences in particular, some of the experiences take place in countries with the higher cost of living than Ireland, hence the higher price. That said, when you can showcase a premium experience with significant added value, you will naturally be able to command a higher price point. So let's jump in and ask ourselves, why focus on enhancing our food, culture, and film activities experience? When reviewing your food, culture, and film activities, think about what makes you different, what you can offer that is truly unique to your product or destination that cannot be found anywhere else. Ask yourself if it is something fresh and new for the consumer to try. Food and drink is central to everyday out, short break, and extended stay. Consider how you can leverage day trippers looking for an unplanned bite to eat or picnic to go. Extend your offering to local self-catering accommodation or attract people to your restaurant or bar purely for the interactive and locally inspired food experiences that you are offering. Be sure to showcase local producers that connect the guest and visitor to the surrounding locale. Fáilte Ireland has launched some helpful tools for you to reference in your planning, including the Breakfast Toolkit and Inside Food podcast series. Playing to the research and insights that tell us the consumer is seeking outdoor activities, review what you already offer and consider how you could enhance it by moving it outdoors, for example, pop-up exhibitions, performances, installations, street art and workshops. If you are fortunate to be located in a destination that has benefited from providing the backdrop to high-profile filming, explore how you can translate this into a one-of-a-kind, entertaining visitor experience. Now, more than ever, as we emerge from the pandemic and look ahead to survive and thrive throughout the recovery period, we must approach the creation and enhancement of our offering with innovation and creativity. Consider all segments with a focus on the domestic market in the short to medium term, while not losing sight of international key source markets for the longer term so you can be prepared for when global travel resumes. Review the latest Fáilte Ireland research and get to know and understand the top activities the Irish domestic traveller is looking for with particular relevance to food, culture and film so that you can map your offering to their tastes and preferences. By mapping your experiences to the taste and preferences of the domestic market, you will connect with your desired audience in a meaningful way through an offering that resonates with them based on their interests and what they are looking for. In turn, this will encourage them to stay in the area longer, leading to increased footfall throughout the destination and visitor spend. So let's take a look at the saleable experience process and how you can approach it through 5 key steps. Beginning with step 1, define your business offering, understanding where exactly it sits within the overall tourism offering in your destination. What can you offer? What will it include? For which segment is it most relevant and what will you charge? Another question to ask yourself is how it aligns to the greater destination proposition. Moving on to step 2, clarify your experience for sale matched to the high potential destination themes. Prepare your communication, copy, and compelling visuals to motivate and inspire, weaving in the destination message and content where relevant to ensure you match the destination theme. For example, Ireland's Ancient East, Ireland's Hidden Heartlands, Wild Atlantic Way, or Dublin. Think about how you can become the storyteller of your location, connecting the guest and visitor with the surrounding locale. In step 3, you want to make sure your saleable experience is available for sale. To resonate with your target segments and attract your desired consumer, identify a range of both direct and indirect channels through which you will be able to reach them. In step 4, by doing so, you will be able to stand out from the crowd, enabling them to clearly see what you are offering and evaluate whether you can fulfill their needs. As you move to step 5, the customer can clearly see that you are meeting their needs and you will convert looker to booker as you make a sale. So let's look at our first experience under food. The restaurant at Limewood, Hartnett, Holder & Co. is a joint venture between chefs Angela Hartnett and Luke Holder and offers some of the highest quality no-nonsense food in the UK. Initially developed as an experience called the Chef Table, this has now evolved to the Kitchen Table with the proposition, if a kitchen table could talk, it would have some stories to tell. Most of life as we know it happens at the kitchen table, a place of connection and comfort. And there's something about sitting at the table and eating as a family that brings a household together. It becomes a real, authentic daily event. At the restaurant, the team believe that the best meals are those shared with friends and enjoyed with the much-loved Italian family approach to eating. So the proposition is to step into our kitchen and gather around our kitchen table, a large, antique and well-worn table that seats up to 10 people, as you can see in the pictures here. Bookable for lunch or evening, it is an adult-only experience. Before dinner, guests are invited to meet the chef, collect herbs and vegetables from the garden and discuss the 5-course tasting menu, while the sommelier will also join to arrange the perfect wine pairings. To activate something similar within your outlet or property, or indeed as a pop-up, certain linkages to enhance the experience include obviously the large kitchen table, nearby gardens where some of the produce for the meal is grown, an experienced sommelier or mixologist, and an atmospheric setting. Next up, we look at combining art and food at Broomhill Estate. A 1913 private house renovated to an 8-room art hotel with a restaurant serving North Devon and Dutch-influenced slow food paired with organic drinks. This house is set amidst 12 acres of woodland along the Bradford River, where over 200 artworks and an outdoor sculpture garden are placed. Many artworks are for sale, and tours include tea, coffee, and scone or cake as an added value option. Clever ticketing for the attraction combined with a food or drink offer are online tickets for the sculpture garden via Eventbrite, with 2-hour slots ensuring a capacity is maintained. With the admission price comes that complimentary coffee or tea, with either a traditional scone with jam or cream or a homemade cake with a choice for sandwiches for an additional supplement. To take advantage of this offer, visitors have to arrive on site 30 minutes in advance of their admission to the attraction. There is a selection of fine art within the restaurant, making it a seamless art experience with the introduction of music and dining to drive the evening economy. There is plenty of opportunity to cross-sell between the hotel, restaurant and art. The experience celebrates collaborations with national sculpture bodies and local artists to keep exhibitions fresh and interesting, encouraging repeat visits. This is an example of a very well managed and delivered visitor experience, with the outdoor setting providing reassurance around safety and security also. Let's hop over to Copenhagen and have a look at their culinary bike tour by Foods of Copenhagen. Taking the guest off the beaten track to discover some of the best foodie secrets in town, it connects guests with local producers and foodie hotspots along the way, while also taking in the culture, history and heritage of this vibrant European capital by bike. Highlights include the new Nordic cuisine based on traditions, as well as the veggie scene and handcrafted desserts in the meatpacking district. An experience offered, as I said, by Foods of Copenhagen, it enables guests to discover the fantastic local food scene on bike. The tour begins in the neighbourhood of Vesterbro and continues by the water to explore the colourful Christianshavn, the famous free town of Christiania, and the fast-growing industrial area. On a 4-hour food tour, guests bike over the many fascinating bike bridges and visit 5 wonderful and unique gems owned by passionate people with a love for the local produce they serve and the city in which they serve it and the people they serve it to. Along the way, a local host will show guests the highlight of the city, its food history and the secrets only a local can know. This food tour is for anyone who loves biking and wants to get to know Copenhagen's off the beaten path charms and see what makes it so captivating to us locals. The many food and beverage outlets visited along the way bring the experience to life. While some of them revealed in advance of the tour, many are kept a secret so as not to ruin the element of surprise. It is enhanced by touring Copenhagen on bike, visiting food and beverage outlets and producers off the beaten track, while getting a sense of authenticity of its vibrant city. Innovative elements include the contribution to sustainable food systems. 1% of the price goes to Zero Footprint Nordic as Foods of Copenhagen work towards a sustainable food system, while all guests receive access to the Eating Concierge service. This includes staff-written guides to Copenhagen's food scene and email access to the team for any questions you may have while you are visiting. Let's take a look at the pop-up dinner series at Inked in Dubai, a great example of how a dormant space can be activated with an innovative pop-up food series. Inked as a concept define themselves as a creative expression in the presence of food. It is essentially a renovated warehouse in Dubai's artistic quarter called Al Serkal Avenue, where a team of passionate creatives host a series of pop-up dinner experiences throughout the year. Themes vary from country to country, celebrate the latest food trends, as well as key calendar occasions including Ramadan and festive. Guests are all seated at one long table, encouraging interaction and sociable conversation as they tuck into an educational feast inspired by the theme of the evening. As an example, recent experiences have included Mushroom Mania, for Beirut, and the Black Forest. The space can also be hired for private events, while Inked offers tailored chef's table experiences for private gatherings along with an exclusive private dining room. Each event is deeply inspired by the story of a country or particular culinary technique, while the warehouse itself is located, as I mentioned, in Dubai's cultural quarter, Al Serkal Avenue, a neighbourhood steeped in the stories of the artists that hone their craft in the neighbouring workshops. This lends itself to the immense sense of craft and creativity at work behind the scenes to prepare and serve the food, as well as the ambience created in what otherwise would be a blank, dormant space. Partnerships include guest chefs and the local produce used, while transport and accommodation would also be a great addition to create a complete saleable experience. The main element of innovation within the experience are the forward-thinking dining concepts. Inked pushes the boundary on standard tasting menus and really explores a certain delicacy, occasion, or international cuisine. The use of a blank industrial space also allows the food to really speak for itself, while the idea of guests all being seated at the one long table is innovative in its approach in terms of generating great conversation over great food, allowing people to reconnect. Learn how to make your very own gin recipe at Ireland's first gin school, where visitors are greeted with a G&T upon arrival by a guided tour of Listoke Distillery, from the production of Listoke 1777 gin to the botanicals used and the bottling line in place. Next, visitors take part in a gin making class where they create their own recipe with many citrus, floral and spices to choose from. The pot stills are set and it is time for more G&Ts while everyone waits for their gin to start distilling. A spread of local meat and cheese from the Boyne Valley flavours are served for all to savour. Once the gin has been collected in glass beakers, it is blended down to the preferred alcohol percentage, bottled and sealed for each visitor to take home. The Listoke Gin School runs for 3 hours every Friday from 6 to 9, Saturdays 1 to 4 and 5 to 8. So this could equally fit in the evening economy also. The tasting notes of each gin tells a story, while the Listoke 1777 gin is blended with Boyne Valley water, connecting the crafted spirit with the destination. The distillery is a proud member of Boyne Valley Flavours and Ireland's Ancient East. The food served during the gin school experience is a spread featuring local producers, all part of Boyne Valley Flavours. The Gin School also lists a number of recommended accommodation partners on the website, encouraging increased dwell time in the area. The gin is lovingly distilled in small batches of 350 litres at a time in iStill 500 Pro Series stills, an innovative, efficient and super green method of distilling gin. Listoke Distillery and the distillation of Listoke 1777 premium Irish gin has been given Origin Green status. The company has ensured that all production methods and all products used therein are as green and sustainable as is available. Other elements in terms of innovation is the pure water used that I mentioned above. That Listoke 1777 gin is blended with Boyne Valley water, which has been treated by reverse osmosis. Bottles are also labelled and sealed all by hand, thus resurrecting and returning this artisan craft to the producer's hands. Based on the west coast of Ireland in County Clare on the Wild Atlantic Way, the concept of Graw picnics is that you can dine in any of the glorious locations along the Wild Atlantic Way with breathtaking views in County Clare. Graw picnics takes care of it all. All you have to do is show up, take in the beauty of your location, and feast on a delicious grazing platter paired with a chill bottle of bubbly. Replacing soggy egg sandwiches and a cold tea with a lavish picnic featuring artisanal goodies, Graw Picnics has elevated the experience with a lavish tablescape and dining setup overlooking the cliffs of Moher. They've also introduced an app and bubbles cart for those availing of the option to add some fizz to their picnic. Suitable for families, pre-family couples, singles under 45 and unconstrained adults over 45, this 2-hour experience can run across breakfast, daytime or early evening and is available at various locations across Clare. The occasion itself, along the awe-inspiring backdrop of the Wild Atlantic Way along Clare's coastline, becomes the story. Graw Picnics is the ultimate setup for a romantic proposal, milestone birthday celebration, baby or bridal shower, creating a memorable dining experience to cherish for a lifetime. Graw Picnics has collaborated with Amy's Psychic Medium to offer breakfast meditation picnics and psychic readings. They also sell Graw candles by the Irish Chandler on the website, providing an upsell opportunity, while hampers include a range of Irish producers from Gunpowder Gin to Sheridan's Cheese and the Clare Jam Company. Transport and accommodation providers would also be a great addition to complete the saleable experience. Let's take it back to Copenhagen and have a look at the concept of Sykkelkokken, a gastronomic bicycle tour. The bicycle chef has combined his profession as a chef with his passion for bikes to create a culinary bike tour where he prepares and serves a 5-course menu at various stops along the way, garnished with stories from the places visitors see and experience. Ingredients are organic, sustainable and seasonal where possible. Suitable for couples and adults without children, the experience occurs over 4.5 hours from 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and is bookable 3 days in advance. The trip moves along hotspots of interest all over the city. The tour is in groups and takes in multiple locations where various dishes and drinks are served against the backdrop of a diverse range of beautiful locations across Copenhagen. Guests will learn about the local cuisine through food based on seasonal, locally produced produce, coupled with the experience of a modern gastronomic mobile kitchen showcasing the latest local food trends. The tour finishes up with dessert, coffee or tea and a local Saveja beer. Guests can use their own bikes or hire one from Bicycle Copenhagen, with opportunities for collaboration amongst destination partners, including links with bike rental companies, food circles and accommodation providers. So from food to film, let's take a look at the Game of Thrones tour. A once-in-a-lifetime VIP experience, the Game of Thrones Discovery Tour includes a choice of 2 itineraries covering Belfast North and South. You will explore iconic locations such as Dark Hedges, Dunluce Castle, a Tullymore Forest Walk, Glens of Antrim and Giant's Causeway, to name but a few. Itineraries can also be tailored to visitor preference, with the guide having expert knowledge, also known as the other Ser Davos, because he worked as a photo double for Ser Davos on several seasons of the show. It is possible to build your own itinerary with Adrian the guide to see and do exactly what you want. For example, north of Belfast, you can travel up and down the epic Glens of Antrim, visiting locations along the way. Up to the north coast to Carrigareed Rope Bridge, the Giant's Causeway, the location of the Aran Islands and the Dark Hedges. South of Belfast are the locations of House Stark, the original location of Winterfell, the ruined abbey where Robb Stark became king in the north, and the forest where the Starks found the direwolf pups. The guide will bring metal swords, hand-painted banners and beautifully made Stark wool cloaks or Aran Islands, leather wood or costumes. for photo ops when you are in the film locations of House Stark or House Greyjoy. Lunch is not included in the ticket price, providing an opportunity to collaborate with food and drink providers along the way, as well as accommodation. Suitable for all segments, this experience could also fall under the category of a family or coastal activity experience also. Many of you may have attended Saleable Experience workshops over the past 12 months. If you have not, or for those who wish to do a refresher, there are some fantastic tools and resources available on the COVID-19 Support Hub under the title Reshaping the Experience and Presenting Your Offer. I strongly recommend taking a look if you have the time and capacity to support as you prepare your collection of experiences to offer the domestic market in the short to medium term, and of course not losing sight of the international visitor in the longer term when global travel will resume. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this session helpful and wish you the very best of luck as you prepare for the months ahead. Be sure to keep your key account manager at Fáilte Ireland informed of any innovative ideas you plan to roll out. Update your discoverireland.ie listing and leverage the Keep Discovering campaign. I look forward to visiting many of you and seeing your experiences come to life. Thank you.